Yeah, let me share my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen. And just if it is yes, then just please confirm me through your chat box. And is my voice also clear? Yes. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay. So as today we are discussing about the MLOps. This particular session today is MLOps Full Course. Let me bring back to the 100%. So it is MLOps Full Course, which is completely end to end, like from the very scratch to the a pro level course that I'm going to teach you from now onwards. So what we are going to cover in this, let me come to that point. But before that, I would like to share you some of the information about MLOps actually. So why it is, why you have to learn, and why I have to teach. These are the things first we need to know. If you are joining this course in the sense, you already know about the market of MLOps, right? Because might be you heard from your friend or from your colleague or from your cousin or from your somewhere or the Google search, you got to know that MLOps in the trend right now. Before MLOps, I would like to talk about the DevOps. Okay, let's understand the concept of the MLOps so that it will be very clear that why you are learning this course and how you can find your way to get into the high paid job. Okay, that's my motto actually. So in this DevOps, we all know that DevOps is nothing but development and operational combination, a set of practice traditional methodology that we are following in order to deploy a successful application in very shorter period with highly automated way. So whenever anyone asks about this definition, you have to say like this. Okay. In a software development lifecycle, in a very shorter way, that you are deploying the application into the production and serving the whatever the features that the company or that application is providing. Okay, in a very shorter way to increase the business revenue. That we all know that DevOps. So why the DevOps is become a trend? If you see, still DevOps is a trend actually. Okay, and many openings are there in the DevOps is not 100% for like is it's not 100% filled. The positions are not 100% filled in the market. When 100% filled, it has become like a testing. So it's still DevOps is having a 5 years more to become reach to 90%. It is now almost at 60 to 65% only. Okay, and when I come to the MLOps, it's just now 20%, not even 20%. Okay, so we need to understand the DevOps methodologies because MLOps is going to be a based on the DevOps only. So DevOps that we know when a developer did some code, when developer did some code, can't he deploy himself into a server? He know that doing the code, can't he do just deploying, just like 1 hour or more, 1.5 hour work? That's it. Can't he deploy this code into a server? Can't he able to do that? A developer can be a DevOps engineer. Why a DevOps engineer is needed? Extra. See, here's the point that the developer is completely focusing on creating according to the plan, the code creation according to the plan, business logic, and then delivering it as expectedly to be work in an application. Then he has to deploy. He only know about the developing and setting up the features in the application, but he is not completely, I would say, very dumb in terms of deployment into the server, server configuration, server networking, server services. Okay, all these things is not aware much when it is come to the security, reliability, scalability, maintenance, monitoring. He is not that much capable to think all of these things. That's where the ops comes. These are all ops where you closely work and do this. In order to maintain this ops, we need another person. So that person has to work very closely with the developer because his changes has to be deployed into a server. Now server become a cloud now. Okay, we need cloud DevOps, right? Cloud DevOps. So that's how migrations are happening towards the cloud, and also operations has to be very important. So DevOps is trending from last 2016. It became a very trend from last 2018 as of now, and it is not going to end. Okay, it's going to be continue more 10 years. But top of the DevOps advanced methodology is MLOps. Why? Because MLOps is nothing but applied principles of the DevOps. Applied principles of the DevOps. Okay, we all know that the logo of DevOps. Let me take the logo of DevOps. So it look like this. Okay, it will be like this. This is Dev and this is Ops. Same way, keep ML here. Okay, like this. Or you can also keep ML here. ML Ops. Now let's come to the definition, the raw definition of the ML Ops. Understand here, developer can be a become DevOps engineer very easily, but is not is keeping his time and all the things into the DevOps side, and he need to learn a lot of things. He need to invest a lot of things. Okay, the time and skill and all. Then he become a DevOps engineer very easily. But when it is comes to MLOps engineer, okay, why we need a specifically MLOps? In the outside world, if you go through YouTube, if you go through Udemy, or if you go through any platform, MLOps in terms of ML engineer, everyone is giving you ML in terms of ML engineer. Getting my point? The ML engineer, if teaching MLOps, he'll teach in ML engineering way only. Okay, a data science engineer or a ML engineer can't handle the ML operations. Yes, he can handle the ML operations. And then why MLOps is needed again, an extra? Let's come to that point. Okay, I have a data science engineer or a ML engineer where they develop the model. They are developing the model. And we'll talk about the model also. And now what is a model? Let's come to the point of what is a model. Why we need a model. Okay. With this model, AI will work. Now, whatever we are talking about the AI, artificial intelligence, okay? So that is because the model only, the artificial intelligence will work. Now, what is the artificial intelligence? That we all know, ChatGPT is something in AI, right? Self-driving cars is running with an AI. The self-driving drones are running with an AI. That you know, image generations, right? You are using ChatGPT and creating the images, that is happening with the AI. Robotics with an AI, and right, all these things are happening with AI. What is exactly an AI? AI is an artificial intelligence that the science and engineering making intelligent missions, especially like computer programs, which is nothing but we're just mimicking or stimulating the human decision process. So that is AI. Okay. If you see in the self-driving cars, Tesla and all, that is running by using AI. Alexa, also one of the good example. and your ChatGPT is one of the good example, and your other AI models are there. They are very very good example. So in market, how many types of AIs are there? Like there are many AIs, but we can use of some of them: machine learning, computer vision, natural language process, and robotics. These are all the applications of artificial intelligence, that where we utilize, leverage artificial intelligence into the platforms like applications. These are the things. Okay. So let's understand this AI a little bit more, and then we'll come to the ML operations. Okay. Now we know that the artificial intelligence can be used on these teams in daily world cases in your day-to-day life. If you take Netflix, that use the AI, Amazon shopping application is use the AI, and your healthcare system side, e-commerce, your mobile, everything is using an AI right now. Why AI adoption is more? Because it is creating, it's making human life very easy, and then creating a more revenue to the business. Okay, that's the main point. And human life also is enhancing by using the AI. That the work getting done in every day, it's becoming very easy. Okay, so that those are the benefits in real world case. To understand the AI, we need to understand some basics. What are they? First, so types of the things, like we can see machine learning overview. Artificial intelligence in the top of the layer. Okay, let me take my pen. Artificial intelligence is in the top of the layer, that where you are mimicking the human brain. Okay, and then your machine learning will come into the picture, where it is a branch of AI which focus on use the data and algorithms to imitate the human behavior. This is where our models will. Okay, and deep learning is again, it is a subset of your machine learning. You can see the sequence, and which use the neural network to perform the task in limited human assistance. And again, generative AI is also subset of your deep learning models with generative high quantity text and images and videos. Okay, so that is generative AI. We'll come to the generative AI application deployments and all in our course. So this is the first thing that we need to know. Okay, that the overview of an AI components inside. Now let's understand the types of AI. Okay, if you can see, this is how it works. Now let me tell you about categories: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. There are three categories that the AI will work. Okay, now let me tell you about the first one, supervised learning. So what happens in the supervised learning? In supervised learning, algorithms are trained by using labeled dataset. Once the training is completed, the model tested using the test data, and then it predicts the output. Now let me give you an example here. I already given. There is a label data. What is the label? See, there is a something called stuff. Let's say thing. Let's say here we have some a toy. This toy name is car. This toy name is a car, let's say. Okay. Car is the label. The toy is the physical thing. So this one you are identify with a name, that is label. And now you can see here it is hexagonal, square, triangle, like this. This is a a physical stuff, and this is the naming that you are providing to that. So you are feeding this data. This is called labeled data. Okay, see the labeled data, and then you are feeding to an algorithm. The model will train with that, and you can have a test data, and then you can get an output. So whenever you give something to a model like a square box and you are asking it, it will predict that, oh, this is a square, this is a triangle. Like this it will tell you. You can make use of this supervising learning model. Use case is a classification. There is a one use case with a classification and regression. You can take an example of Gmail spam filter, where incoming mails are coming, and then it will analyze the header, and then it will use some settings, and then it will flag it as something as spam. Or your banking transactions, fraud transactions and genuine transactions, it will flag them and it will block the things. I'll tell you that case as well. So this is how we use the supervised learning machine learning models. Okay, and the second one is our machine learning unsupervised learning. So which is unsupervised learning is a type of machine learning model that the algorithm will be trained on unlabeled data set. So based on the data set, the model finds the hidden pattern and insights based on the similarities of the data. Let's say we have given some input, some of the raw data, like bunch of the things, some cats and dogs, which they're not having the label. We are not specifying anything that this is a dog or this is a cat or this is something elephant like this. So when your data is going to interpretation, the algorithm will understand and it will process and give you output by giving clustering them. Grouping and clustering we call. Grouping and clustering. So then the output will come like this: dogs and cats. Okay. So like this is a one case. Clustering and association. Okay. Now let's understand this association. You can take one customer. Customer went to a supermarket and he bought a milk packet. What are all the things he can buy along with the milk? Bread and butter. So this is something association, the relation of things. So that's how it is going to cluster and do associate and give you an output. This is unsupervised learning. Let's come to the reinforcement. Reinforced learning, I can give you an example of a baby. You can also take a robo here. Reinforced learning is a technique that focuses on training an algorithm following by the trial and error approach. That means it's always based on the environment. You can take a human baby in your house. The baby is going to touch a toy, then he'll get some happiness, right? So he tried on the toy that he touched, he got an happiness, that then he can understand that, oh, he got happiness, so he can touch one more time. So he will go again and again to the toy side. The same baby is touched a candle, then there will be some heat, and the heat, it will hurt him, right? It will create a pain to him. Then he won't go again towards the candle. So that is the penalized. He got error there, so he won't go that side. So that's how the reinforced learning will learn, that the uh, get the appreciation side and error side, like pain, hurting. That's how this AI will learn. Okay, you can take a baby, and here also you can take an agent that keeping this box, orange box, on top of this environment, like so it will use this agent will learn it. Or you can take the home cleaning robo. You are having home cleaning robo, right? You might seen in the internet. The robot will go and touch the wall, then it get error penalized. Then it will learn that it should not. It will map the things. Then it will go in a other way. That is a navigation. That's how your self-driving cars also will work. Okay. So this is reinforced learning. These AIs we're going to use in these cases. And we have some other things like neural network and so on, and we'll discuss that. All these are the matter that I need to use these three categories in the real world cases that we are also using in real world cases. Now we got to know already, right? So this is a self-driving car and some supervising it at your GPT. Okay, your reinforced learning also will come into the OpenAI, and you have your like image generation things and other many AI are there that we are going to use. Okay, so let's understand now about the model. To get done this work AI, we need to train a model. We need to train a model. We already discussed it. To work the AI, we need a machine learning model because machine learning model will train with a data. Will it train with a data? So have a model here. So this model will train with the data. Okay. We have a raw data, anything data, labeled data, unlabeled data. It can be anything. The data. And then what happens? We do a train and then it gets some good. It's something like a baby only. You're training the baby with everyday speeching, okay, right? Then he'll is able to speak properly. That's how this model also. The model is not going to be successful in one shot. Okay. And then the model, when it is give you accurate output, then you are going to use into your application as an AI that is having some uh, features, output. This output you are going to use into the application side. Now here is the MLOps coming into the picture. Data engineering is a very key point, like source of truth we can say. Data engineering, data engineer is mostly involving into MLOps, okay, because he is the one that first uh, give the data to the ML data science engineer or ML engineer. Can't a data science and ML engineer or data engineering can do the MLOps activity? Data engineering guy cannot do that because he's already loaded with lot of tasks at your his ETL side or data engineering side. So he completely will be busy at that side only to do EDA and all feature engineering and all. But when ML engineering or ML engineer is developing a model with a business use case, we'll discuss the life cycle. So when ML engineer is developing a model with a business use case and he is training this model with this data. So this data has to be very clean data. Before this, we have very types of, okay, raw data, mismatch data. Okay, we need to do a feature engineering on the data. That's going to be done with the data engineering side. So they will give you very clean data. With that, the model is going to train multiple times to get the accurate output as expectedly. Once this training is completed, this model has to deploy it somewhere in order to use into the application. In order to use into the application, we need to deploy this model, we need to train, we need to track the experiment that whatever the ML engineer is doing the experiment on this model, because multiple times he will train. In a day he will train 3 4 times, 10 times, 50 times. So that we need to version it. Okay. And then the final one we have to deploy. Where we going to deploy it? Okay. You can deploy into a platform where your Docker, Kubernetes, SageMaker, Azure Machine Learning Studio, Vertex AI are there, cloud native things. So you deploying the model here, deployed model here, this model, and this model you are invoking into your application by using an API, by using REST API or Fast API. Okay, you are invoking into the application. Whenever a user comes and interacting with this application, then this will going to work. I'll tell you now how this case will be going to happen. Now let's take an example of Netflix application. So you will be very clear why this MLOps is booming in the market. I have a Netflix application. This Netflix application is having a lot of movies in it, right? It's having a lot of movies in it. And we have a users who are using this application every day. You, me, everyone will use this. Everyone will use this application. Okay. Now the business use case is, we have a business use case that where we want the recommendation has to work in the Netflix. Okay. Recommendation need to be work in the Netflix. Like um, we will be going to take a business case like, okay. So here what happens, the problem definition. Let's talk it about the problem definition of problem business use case. Business use case. That what I need, I need that when a user comes into Netflix and he played one movie, and my application has to catch his pattern, what type of movie is playing, what type of movie is searching, and at from which region he is, and which language it is, what is the timestamp, and accordingly he should not leave from my application. He should be there in the application. He need to go for another movie. If I give that like that, then he can go for subscription level, so that the users are engaging with an application. So this is why use case, where for this we need to create a model. Okay, for this we need to create a model. So here what are all the inputs? The inputs that we need to take, okay, is user behavior and time, category, interest, movie categories, languages, all these things are we need to take it. Okay, so this is how what happens, we call it as data preparation. Data preparation. Okay, so with this, so let's say data collection and preparation, we can also call it as collection. And so we can take a subcomponent, data ingestion. So what happens here in the ingestion, that we're going to collect the data from different user profiles. Like there will be historical movie data already. Lot of historical user profile movie data will be there, geographic location. So that we are going to collect in this. And then what we do, we are going to do some data cleaning. Means there'll be some movies which is not worth of it, or which is having a off, and which is not recommended in this. Okay, so those kind of movies which is not irrelevant things, that we're going to do a cleaning. And then we'll come into the picture called feature engineering here itself. So what happens here in the feature engineering, so we are going to do we're going to convert, we are going to extract a data, like after cleaning and all, we are going to create a new data with a time between consequences, transactions, and the comparing with the unused data or irrelevant data to a useful data. From irrelevant data to a useful data, we have to create a new pattern. Creating a new pattern of data is your feature engineering. Okay, and then here it is comes model development. Okay, then it comes into the model development. We know already, right? The business case model development will come into the picture, where what happens, we are going to select a model. Okay, we are going to select a model, a kind of random forest or XG deep learning. Okay, for large models we are going to select a model. So once we selected a model selection, choose the model, then we'll come into the training the model. What do? We do a train the model. Train the model. And then we will do a continuous experiment on it. A continuous experiment. Continuous experiment we will do. So in these experiments, we are going to track and we are going to record all these things with the metrics, accuracy, precision, recall, FN score for each of the things. We can make use of tools MLflow, Kubeflow, Comet like this here in this case. Okay, we are going to use, and then we'll come into the picture of model validation. Model validation. Okay, once validating the model with the test data set to like ensuring that we are giving output as well what we are expecting or not. We are just doing the cross validation in order to check the robustness of this model. That is model validation. And then what we do a packaging the model. Okay, what we do a packaging the model. Nothing but will come and we'll tell it as packaging the model. Okay, packaging model, and we will save the model, and then we are going to containerize it, or nothing but deployment. I would say it's nothing but deploying model. We'll do a Docker containerization and all, and then we'll deploy this model. And once we deploy this model with your, and then you can enable REST API or Fast API with that. Once you deploy it, then you can invoke this with your application. So in order to deploy this application, backend services, front-end services of Netflix application, who needed? A DevOps engineer is needed, right? Developer and DevOps engineer, full stack developer and DevOps engineers are going to responsible here in order to deploy this into the cloud, this application. But in this application, the recommended, right? It is recommending you the services. That services is going to run by recommendation engine, recommendation AI. So that we need a recommendation model for it. So this is the model of recommendation according to my business case. Now this model is going to work in this application. When this model is working here, lot of users are logging in, right? Lot of users are logging in, and many users are using this model, means requests are coming up to this model. This model is deployed. Many requests are coming up to this model. This model need to be reliable, right? Scalable. Load balancing has to happen. It has to serve this model accurately to all the users who are logging into the application. It is something like application only. We need to also ensure that the models need to be operated like how the application is operating. Okay, same way. So this is where how your application monitoring, you are also going to monitor this model. Then monitoring also come into the picture. Monitoring a model. Monitoring a model or monitoring the model. Here you will collect a lot of metrics, uh, like latency, drift detection is going to happen. If drift detection happen, we are again going to retrain this model. Okay, retrain this model. Then how it happen? This user interaction will come into the application, and the data will flow, and then model inference will be coming into the picture, and then the action will taken by your model, and you will get output here. So your model has to be serving this production. So before this is a production now, it is exactly serving at the production. Before production, you have staging environments, you have UAT environments, that is lower environment, and this is higher environment, right? Here operations has to be happen same like your application. Here who? DevOps engineer will taking care. Here MLOps engineer will going to take care this process. What happened from the last 5 years? Data science has become a boom. People are invested their time, skill, everything on the data science, creating the new science in it with the data. And ETL process, now the process has become very good now, fully automated, and everything is done. That the amount of investing the time is done. Okay, that's how the AI is not in the coming into the picture in the market. The data is now ready. Lot of data is now ready. However, we want to use that kind of data, techniques are ready. Now this is the time that from the data we can utilize whatever our business cases. That's how the model came. Now models are developing and deploying. In previous cases, model is under testing only. It's not completely production ready models. The AI is not yet production ready. If you just look into the history, ChatGPT we are using as part of our life from last 2 years. Hardly. Before that, no. Because the models are just at training phase only, development phase only. ML engineer only deploying it is local environment. He is doing testing. All these things he doing it local environment only. Now the models are coming towards the production because business are adapting the AI. They know the use case. Some Amazon is adapted AI, then why can't Netflix is going to adapt the AI? If he not going to, then he'll lose a customer simply. So they'll go for it. Healthcare system is mandatory to use the AI now because they're having a lot of benefits in it. Okay. Other e-commerce also, gaming. See, these are all platforms need to use the AI right now because it is going to be a mandatory one. Then who is going to maintain these models here? MLOps engineer. And now direct MLOps engineers are not available in the market. So this is the time that it is just 15 to 90% is there. You can get into the market. That's if you keep the profile in the Naukri, you will get a lot of calls. But without awareing about this process and all, if you're jumping into this, then you can't able to do it. So does an ML engineer need to know the Python? Many people are having a question. Does a DevOps engineer need to know about the Java? Need to know about anything? Any code DevOps engineer know? No. But DevOps engineer know that how the code will behave. What are all the components inside, like build tools, like other things, like some basic information you know about the programming because it's going to work with the developer. Same way, here MLOps engineer also need to know about the ML engineering side. Okay, he no need to know complete Python, pro in a Python. You just need to know Python basics, that how you can leverage the Python in terms of operations and pipelines. Again, DevOps is matter here because it is applied principle now. Now tell me, see, everything is like the DevOps only, right? So when your model is going to train, you will apply the CI/CD here. How you train this one? With CI/CD pipelines only you will do training this one. How you do the data feeding into it. With your Git and DVC you are going to do this. So all this tool you are going to monitor also same way like DevOps. It's an applied principle and creating a bridge between creating the bridge between data engineering team, data science, ML, DevOps is MLOps. Okay, this is what the actual definition and the workflow. So this is how the life cycle will happen. Why we need? We already discussed that in order to scalable the model, in order to maintain the model into a production, we need a MLOps guys. Because models are now moving towards the production. The testing, um, feeding the data and doing testing and getting accurate outputs are done. And this model we need to take care that it should not go down, or if it is having something drifts, that we need to. And also setting up the infrastructure for this MLOps engineer. So many organizations are actually dependent on the DevOps guys, and they are asking, insisting DevOps guys to come to the MLOps side. If you take HCL is a one insisting the DevOps engineers to get learn into MLOps side. AOps. If you get to know, you can easy your whatever the models are developing. You're talking about the AOps, right? Splunk. You're talking about the Grafana. You're talking about the other tools. They are working with the something models, ML models only. That model you're leveraging into the application and you're doing some new configurations. That is AOps. You're using a tool which is having AI invoked in it, and you're using that AI to create the new kind of automation. That is AIOps. If you know a very good at MLOps or AIOps, you can use advanced AIs to create the new things, and you will be too much like you will get a very high package. The growth rate of MLOps is now it is starting from 2025. It is too much boom, guys. Trust me. If you are joining this session means you already know this data, like how it is trained in the market. In our course, we are going to discuss all this with three clouds by setting up the infrastructure as well. AWS, Azure, and GCP along with the DevOps, MLOps. Okay, we are going to see on the three clouds with even open source tools. We can use some open source tools also in ML models. If you sit in an interview, you can able to crack the interview. That kind of knowledge I'm going to give you. Because from last 2 years this MLOps is started and the people are very new now, and whatever the package you ask they'll give, and it is very new. This is the time that you can jump into the domain, like how the DevOps guys had jumped into the domain in 2019. That the phase is I always wish that phase has to become like, okay, like that the phase was created, and now the same phase is creating for MLOps. They'll give like a lot of package, and it is also very good job, that high pay job, and easily you can do it once you know the basics and the configurations. It's very nice, you'll enjoy it actually. And on top of this there'll be advancements will come, that things you need to know every day. LLM ops, gen AI ops, agent ops. So these things we need to know. Then who will beat you? You're always up to the market. Okay, so this is what my course is going to teach you. And I am Ravi, and I'm completely a freelancer who every day deliver this kind of solution to my many of the clients, and I'll be developing and deploying them with my team. And as part of this work, I'm also teaching this ML operations, DevOps, cloud operation, data ops, and all. In our course, if you go to our TopMate Emergency Tech Ops, you might have a link where you are registered, and I already mentioned the course syllabus. The course syllabus is completely focusing on from fresher to the who is having a experience also. So from ML introduction from very scratch, I am going to teach you in the module way. You can see ML introduction and ML and MLOps stages, and you can see the what are all the things I'm going to use inside. Okay, and also Git essentials for MLOps practitioners, CI/CD or the three clouds, and Docker Kubernetes overview with your complete Docker foundation, Kubernetes, and deployment strategies, and high-level model management tools, and your feature store. Okay, and your deep dive into the MLOps and cloud services with three clouds, and we have the cloud native services: AWS SageMaker, GCP, Vertex AI, Azure Machine Learning Studios, and Kubeflow, MLflow pipelines, and LLM ops and generative AI, and understanding the model monitoring, and introduction to AutoML, which is you need to know in the market, AutoML. Okay, post deployment challenges with the models, and open source tools with the cloud, and the Apache Airflow in from the data engineering side. Okay, and Google Kubernetes, Azure Kubernetes, Terraform, and Argo workflows. So with this course, and you'll get a benefits of lifetime recording access. You don't need to worry about the recording that after 6 months or 1 year that is going to be removed. No. And you'll get a daily note session, okay, of each session, and real-time projects. And that I will be going to give you your profile building things, okay. I'll tell you like how you can develop your resume and update your LinkedIn, and you get into the project, and you can how you can also accept freelancing projects, and we do a mock interviews for you to get into the job. With this preparation, you're surely going to get the job. It's my promise. That the only thing I need from you. You need to study every day, you need to up to the subject, and you need to be very interested first. Then it is very easy to teach you. Okay. So this is my course, and the course fee is 30,000 with all these benefits what I have mentioned. 30k, and this is not going to enough, guys. I will be adding you into my community into Slack and Discord here. Okay, and so here you can do everyday communication, and in WhatsApp group also you can do everyday communication. You can call me over my WhatsApp directly for your issues and for your interviews and all. We also support you if you are lagging it somewhere, and some of support you will get initially if you switch to the job. Initial support will be there, like we'll guide you on this. All these benefits and everything you'll get into a 30k fees, the course fee. And this is to this batch only, and from next batch it might going to be increased because people are more into it, and we are very too much getting busy into corporate trainings. So to get find time and finding the students and teaching, it's becoming quite difficulty for us, and handling their clients and corporate trainings and all, and also for you. So you'll get everything into 30k. You'd make utilize this course. How long this course is going to be? This course is going to be 40 to 45 days. This course into most completely you're going to cover, and every day it is going to be a 1.5 hour. Okay, 1 hour 30 minutes. So each day 1 hour 30 minutes and Monday to Friday. It's going to be a Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday, and you will be having one mentor, dedicated mentor. If you have any issues, you can ping to the mentor and mentor will guide you on your labs. Okay. Whatever your the issues are there, you can report, and we going to create a board where kind of real time things. So every day it is at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. IST in the Indian time and to 9:30 p.m. IST. Okay. Labs are you going to do at your cloud only. So your MLOps and all the models are deploying into the uh, clouds only now, not into the data centers. So everything is going to be on cloud accounts only. But you will get a very good. So please convert yourself 30K into USD, Samsung, and your login details to Azure and all will teach you in the course. If you have you created, then you can log in and go to the Azure Machine Learning Studio. And so the link is yep, yes, Terraform. Hmm. 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 TPU. Yeah. 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 So yes, that I said also GPU management tools. We have few like in terms of NVIDIA or Kubernetes natively support GPU side things, and I'll also go into yeah, yeah. I'll be going to include into the project while we're going to deploy the ML models, like scheduling the GPU allocations according to the model and to the cluster side. Okay. Kubernetes mostly. Yeah. Hmm. No, no. See, if you're using already Kubernetes to build the Docker Compose, why? See, there's two things. While you're building the Docker Compose, why to run one or two containers togetherly, you need a Docker Compose. Ultimately, yeah, Docker image, yes. Scanning. Yes, scanning is going to happen. Yes, to find the vulnerabilities, we use Driveway, Snake, Aqua Anchor security tools. So these tools are going to be covered up as part of DevOps here. In this course, if you Snake and Travi or these are the free open source tools and Anchor, like Anchor, these are all going to be in enterprise tools. Okay, so enterprise tools we are not much here in we are focusing, but I'll tell you the same functionality it is. But open source tools we can do it here easily. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. See, that is a part of CI/CD. You will going to see it while we're generating the Docker image, and we are going to see that with our Minikube and also with the Kubernetes cluster. So in the Kubernetes, and I'm going to Kubernetes, I'll also tell you Docker Foundation completely that how ML model is going to pick up a pickle file or ONN file, and that file is going to be converted into an image, and that is going to run it as a container. Before that, the scanning should be happen. That is nothing but SecOps. And then once it is deployed into the infrastructure has to be also monitored. So at monitor side, not only your ML model and application, you have to also monitor your infrastructure, how it is feasible, how much it is feasible for your model when you go for a production release. So this is also matter. All this we're going to see in the project. When we go into the project, pieces wise we are learning. That's how the modules. The pieces wise you're going to learn, and then we'll combine the things and we'll do a create a one project. Like almost you're going to see uh, 3 to 4 kind of projects and different use cases. Like we have generative AI applications, class image generation applications, or we have many other classification applications. Like this kind of applications we are going to deploy and utilize the model in it. So that is your project. Once we know about this all the pieces, and we're going to combine the pieces and we'll do a project. So you can pay in two installments. One is first installment will be 20K and second installment will be a 10K. Two installments. The first installment will be a 20K and then and second installment will be a 10K. Yeah, so Dilip, what kind of projects you are going to deploy is like a deep learning NLP models? Yeah, we are going to see computer vision applications, the model. Also, we are going to see that like kind of a face recognition, image classification things. Uh, RAG studies, LLM in the module of LLM ops, we are going to see about their RAG and vector database, weight and bias things. Also, we are going to see it. And I'll try to also give you an on ResNet, YOLO, and all this RCN UNIT, this kind of models we are going to deploy. And also we are going to deploy something called generative AI side like GNANs and with deepfake generations. So this kind of time series forecasting models also we're going to deploy, a kind of weather forecasting and all. And NLP side, as you said, text classification side, I'll be going BERT or XLNet, this kind of models we're going to deploy as part of our project. Okay, so you will get a very good subject here that you never get at any of the platform because no, everyone. If you go YouTube also you go anywhere, ML engineers are only telling in terms of ML perspective. They are the developers. They're telling the developer things. If a full stack engineering teach DevOps, how it look like, those things only there. But the market is not. They're not expecting this. They're expecting clear ML ops. Okay. So I hope everyone is clear with, yeah. Yes, go on. So this is as of now this batch is running and few other batches are already at end of thing. Those are all corporate trainings. And in coming future in the early morning, there's one more batch is going to start, but we're not sure about the timing as of now. So this is the current batch with this current benefits. It's best to start at this time because by February end, you will be ready for the market, and that is the time where financial year will come, and the hirings are more. So you can grab a project easily. You can grab a job easily with our practice. Uh, yeah, as I said, like as of now, we are committed with this timings only. ML model development is mentioned there means it's a clear cut of ML engineering expectation. You might see in one or two jobs, but just go to Naukri and just see. You'll get they ask like who's having an experience with TensorFlow, PyTorch, MLflow, Kubeflow, Docker, Kubernetes, CI/CD. Okay. Now the HR itself is asking all these things. Do you know this? Do you know this? Do you know this? So since you're not attended, might be any of the HR interview call, or just go and just try see the descriptions of the many jobs. So then you will get to know what they're expecting exactly. Yeah, by February end. Yeah, by February end you can start your marketing. That we are. I'm going to teach you that. Okay, don't worry. That's how I said that we build your profile in LinkedIn, Naukri, and we give you a resume and tell you that how to market with our mock interviews. Hmm. Hmm. Yes, yes. You can actually you can host your GitHub profile with your static profile. Okay, static profile is nothing but with GitHub Actions. You can deploy that at one repository, and you can showcase all your project repositories by clicking with the hyperlinks. Okay, but in each repository, what you have to do, you have to uh, add. Okay, you have to add your all your practice whatever the practice that you do, you have to add a repository on readme.file. You have to add all your POC, proof of concept things, and with along with your screenshots. Everything, if you add that, it is very easy that in your resume, if you embed that one, the interviewer who is click on that, he'll able to easily see it. And in GitHub repository, I'm going to give you. Let me show you up. So I will be going to create a project itself over there. For an example, uh, so this is one of the account. So for example, here we're going to create a task like this and a lesson on you. You have to solve it, get solve with this one. If you see here, you have to do your give you a solution and you have to discuss with me. I'm just showing you this sample one. This account is for DevOps account. Okay, okay. Here, this kind of things I'll going to update you on you, and you have to. And everyday recordings, you'll get it over the classroom basically. Okay, we'll get it over the classroom. All your classes will be you can able to see in the classroom, and with class topic and all you'll get it here at one time access. Okay, so this LMS will be very good for you. You can easily able to access all your classes and recordings. And here like this project dashboards I'll create and I'll assign you the task. And here the repository, this repository, I'll tell you how you can show up your profile. So with GitHub Actions, we can deploy actual static application on your profile, and you can show GitHub profile that what are all the projects you have done. And uh, whenever you click on or any interviewer is goes and searches something, then he can able to see your POC what you have done. So this is what I'll tell you how to add in your LinkedIn as well. So LinkedIn also something that do your market. In the LinkedIn, how you can post your things. So that's what I'm going to teach you in this course at the end of the course. In we have a separate classes for career building. So in that I'll going to teach you all. Hmm. It's your own repository, right? GitHub, yes, you can do it. Yeah, anytime you can do it in your own repository. It's just a README file is nothing but a manual of your repository. So is it ML engineers' job use the frameworks like deploy model? Yes, they'll use MLOps engineer. We need to know about them, TensorFlow and all. We need to know about them, the frameworks. And the timing isn't perfect for me as I in EST. Are you able to support individual like me? Do you have recordings in place? So as of now, we only give the recording access to the students who are into the batch. We're not selling any recordings separately. So that's our policy. So please try to attend the live classes so that we deliver good subject and you'll also get good subject. Mhm. Ravi Kumar, you search it, Ravi Kumar, you'll get it. No, from tomorrow itself it is going to continue. From today onwards it's continuing. Okay, so don't miss out. And uh, I think everyone is already registered at this top mate, I hope. If not, please register. And who are not registered, you can share your phone number over the chat box, or if it is good that you even share your number over the chat box, so we'll share you the new links that whenever we're going to start any new workshops and anything, so that is going to reach your WhatsApp inbox. It's just a 2 seconds of time if you type your phone numbers over the chat box. Yes, you will get a link over the WhatsApp. That's why asking to who are not registered. So you can just, or everyone, I request you to post your numbers. Yeah, I already shared a link in the chat. If you go there and you can able to find out a card mastering Docker Kubernetes class. Did you find out the link? Sorry. Yes. Yes, some of the documentation regarding a Python and regarding other e-notebooks, you will get it. Notes I will give you. For your self-learning, a good notes, like whatever I prepare, kind of these things, all this you will get it. And not only the class material, you'll get extra material that you can focus in future also. That's why I'm telling you, once you add it into the community, you'll get updated things every time according to the trend, whatever going on. Those all update things you will get in the community. So this is an advantage. Yeah, like for Python, for automation, and for your development side, or now the new techniques are coming into the ML and AI side, those notes, all these notes are going to come in into your inbox. Syllabus. Yeah, that's it. It's last. Ansible, no, it's not part of your self-learning. Ansible is just for your configuration management tool where you use in the DevOps, not at MLOps side. No, it's into the DevOps. Might you went to this one actually? Yes, you might uh, webinar. One-on-one calls, digital products. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think I have to update these things. I think this is the one syllabus. I already updated everywhere the same syllabus only. I don't see that Ansible will be into MLOps. That is not the case. Just please check one more time. How much Python knowledge is needed? Some basic knowledge like libraries and a small amount of automation, that how you can leverage them in order to run some little bit Python automations, in how you can utilize the Python in the pipelines to get done this MLOps work. So that much knowledge is enough. Like some of the basics, okay, we know that some of the basics in the Python. So those kind of practices also I will give you very clear notes that you can do a copy, and I'll also tell you where you can do a free practice with the lab. So don't worry about the Python at all. It's a very basic that I'll going to teach you in this, how you can use the Python in terms of MLOps side. Yeah. So if okay. If you are, yeah, you're already into MLOps. Now the companies are insisting to use AI. Now, if you want to use any coding, you just need to know the logic, how to implement the code. But writing the code is any AI will give you. ChatGPT interpreter also will give you that, or you have other Bolt AI new tools are there. They give you, but how to apply the logic according to the business use case, that is matter. But as we are MLOps, we are not going to do that. Is a developer headache. Our only task is to automate automation. So that we need to know. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. 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 Okay. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Yes. That's how. I'm not telling even no need to know about the Python. It we need to know, like in terms of, and as you're saying, like you're working at startup now because they are not hiring much resources to do in a distributed way. Mm. Yeah. Now what happens at the projects still, uh, I how many of ML models are going towards the production? I don't know, but when it is fully into the production releases side, so MLOps engineers are highly needed, and whenever The company is planning for low resources because they are not fully dependent on the ML model side. So in that case, so they'll be utilizing the same resource. They'll expect the same thing from the data engineering to the ML operation side. Ask me how. Because if you take about the DevOps case only, people are who know about previously Azure, and they are also doing some DevOps jobs, and companies have started expecting also DevOps engineer need to do a data, also need to handle the data lakes and data bricks over the Azure. So they are expecting that you know about this one thing, because that time the data engineering, like exactly 2 years back, 2.5 years back, data engineering guys are very less, and the companies are expected over the Azure domain, especially DevOps engineers should know about the data lakes and data engineers. So this is what the case. And previously, when the DevOps is starting in the era of 2017 to 18, so the interviewers are also asking DevOps engineers that do you know the programming? You should know Java programming, development plus DevOps. So that is the phase of this MLOps as well right now. The phase is in the starting. That's how they are asking to you should know something at the data engineering side. But as since it is the source of truth, like yes, you have to always go and work with them, and you have to also involve actively into the pipeline development and all, but not really that much when very distributed way if you're working. So now, if you take with the big projects and big companies, now they are moving towards the distributed way. So you will not find this case in just coming by end of December. You will not find this case with all the companies. Trust me. And you can also do a research over your internet and all. Hmm, 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 hmm. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Now you keep your profile and just try receiving calls from HR. You'll get to know now what they're expecting. Might you just mm, yeah, yeah. And just also please give a confirmation that see guys on the MLOps side you'll get a very good package, highly good package. You'll not get our full stack development side or a DevOps side or a cloud ops side. You'll get a very good package. So isn't it right or not? Mm. Yeah. So thank you for your information sharing here, Lip. And I have to head to one more class. So please log in tomorrow same time. Alright, if you're not, then go to the same website. You will find a link here, and who are all uh, paid and they get registered, they'll get added into the WhatsApp group and all. So for continuous classes from tomorrow onwards. Thank you, or sorry, you can do a payment over the Phone Pay, Google Pay, and we do have an option of Azure Pay as well. So how whatever the way it's comfortable, I'll give you that because we open these two sessions free. So who you can just ping me over the WhatsApp and we ping you over the WhatsApp to when we call you to do the payment just- yeah, who are all yeah, yeah, I'll share you. Don't worry. Yeah. So thank you everyone. Thank you very much. We call you and we'll ask for your payment. Don't worry. And just please don't miss the classes. That's my request. Thank you everyone for your joining and your presence here. Okay, Kapil. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all very much. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time.